a big screen show. A knock at the door, you're in the right place tonight. Sit back and relax.
Yes. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We're about to get into it. About some of the abuses and the poor behavior of the House of Consciousness participants, the leaders, and the well-known actors. Actors like Sonetta, actors like Polight. How's everybody doing today? Let me see who's in the house. Yes, Donnie Williams, Andrea Burnett, Love Me Fruit, Shaka and Dugu Komet. What's up, everybody? What's up? I hope everybody's having a nice day. Let me see. Let's get into this.
I felt so bad, so terrible. I felt like I missed out on an opportunity to change my finances and change my life and be Brother Polight's mentee. So I said, man, if I ever have the money, it was $3,500 for the minimal mentee. If I ever had that money, I would invest it with Brother Polight, and I would change my life, financially, So I had the money. It was over $100,000, and I hit up Polight. Like the moment I got out of the bank, I hit up Brother Polight and I said, "Hey, I got the bread. I'm ready to start the mentorship." And he was like, "Oh," and he realized that I was in Hawaii, so it wasn't just like send a Chase or send a Wells Fargo. There's two different bank accounts, so I had to send. It wasn't sending him money. It was sending other people money, women, men, people I didn't know about, people I thought or assumed were his financial advisors or people in his financial realm. So we were texting, we were talking, Western Union, MoneyGram. It was literally for like weeks. I'm sending him bread. And so I sent him bread for the mentorship, that alone. And then once that bread was sent, it was $3,500.
This is the mentor. He's going to help you. This is the person claiming to help you, to be a mentor, right? Who turns into your abuser, right? It is just something else. It's something else.
Started talking to me, give me the mentorship, and gave me the whole spiel. And I was like, wow, man, I can't believe it. Like, I can't believe, like, I'm talking to Brother Polight. Like, I can't believe, like, I'm in this mentorship. And the first investment, he was like, so he has a deal with tax liens. And if he buys a bunch of tax liens at once, then he gets a discount from the county. And it'll cost me about $30,000 to invest in the tax liens. And he said I would triple my money or something like that.
This is, how many times have we heard this kind of story? Not even the promise of getting money back, but the idea that you're building something, right? And that the persons you're giving the money to are like serious people that are seriously invested in the community and have the community's best interests in heart. How many times have you heard that before?
It wasn't 30,000, it was 25,000. I would triple my money in a half. That's what he told me, 3.2 times my return. And he said every 14 days. That's what he told me. 3.2 times your return every 14 days from your $30,000 investment. And whoa, this is crazy. Like I could come up like that just every 2 weeks. And then so I started sending him that bread. Like, wow, man, I can't believe this is really happening. And yeah, so he told me I would get back $42,300 from the money I sent him. And I was like, dope. And I think I paid for the trust too. I'm not even sure how much that cost. Oh, so what I slipped up and I fucked up. And I told him how much money I received. That was my fault. And I know in retrospect, he took full advantage of that. He took full advantage. And as I'm sending him money, I'm thinking like, hey man, like what else is on the next level of the mentorship? Oh, it's about 5,000 this and 5,000 that, and you get this and this, you get another streams of income. It's like 3, 6, and 9 different streams of income. So I'm thinking like, hey, it's just a little extra investment. Why not just get the other mentorship? Why not just step it up a level? He was like, all right, cool, send me the bread. So I sent him the money, and then I'm like, we're sending him more money. I'm not even sure, like, and then I'm thinking like, why don't I was like, what's the next level? He's like, the celebrity mentorship. And I'm like, that's when I told him how much money I got. He's like, oh, I'm gonna just give you the mentorship I give Floyd and all the celebrities. I'll just give you that one. I'm thinking, damn, like for real, it's like that. Like I'm just gonna get the celebrity mentorship from Brother Polight. Like, all right, like for sure. And
Do you think Sonetta ever met Crypto Roots? Because Crypto Roots was that cameraman with him for a very long time.
Then later he was like, oh, you want to come out to LA to buy a condo? It's going to cost $17,000. Was what, just 17 grand? For sure. Like no problem. It's like, oh, my wife, she's a property manager. She'll manage it for you. You're going to be an entrepreneur. You're gonna that'll be another stream of income. And I'm thinking, and he's like, so when can you make it out to LA? And I'm like, damn, I don't know, like next week or something. Like, and you know what I'm saying? I was just living out of, so I ended up having enough money to live out of my van. I'm telling Polight, yo, I'm living out of my van right now. I just got this bread. I didn't spend hardly anything. You know what I'm saying? Hardly anything. I'm still so in frugal state of mind and just, you know what I'm saying, wanting to invest, you know, and change my future. And so yeah, I bought the ticket, you know, and I bought a few music instruments just to hold me down because I need my music spiritually. And then I bought a ticket to LA. And then Polight was like, yo, I can't wait to meet you. I can't wait to meet you. You know, and I'm like, yo. So I go out to LA. I go to, I forgot, the Galleria or whatever. I forgot what they call it, you know, over there in Beverly Hills. And then, you know, so I meet him in person, like, yo, man, like, you changed my life. Like seriously, brother, I'm so excited to meet you in person. And I wasn't sure what to do. Oh, he also told me, bring as much money in cash on the plane with you. And I was like, how much can I bring? He's like, up to $10,000. And so I brought $9,000 in cash. And the moment I met him,
this is a classic case of abusing someone's trust and finding a person, just knowing exactly what type of person is too trusting and then taking full advantage of it with no accountability. You haven't heard any accountability on Polight's half regarding this, you know?
I gave him the $9,000 in cash.
And guess what? How many of the conscious community people even talk about this man? This man's he's got a whole series on what happened with Polight, intimate series, a detailed series. How many of these guys do you hear talking about it? Are they just pretending like this never happened?
And I didn't know what was going to happen. And he was just like, all right, I got things to do. I need to hang out with my wife. I'll see you later. I'm thinking, all right, let me just get like an Airbnb. You know what I'm saying? I never Airbnb before. And so yeah, and I'm just kicking into my Airbnb thinking like, all right, what's the next step? And I'm thinking, he's like, yo, you can rent one of my cars. I own a part of a luxury car company. And how much? And he's like, this is how much it's gonna cost, $1,200. And I'm thinking, damn. So I gave him like $3,000 to rent the car, or the rental cars, a luxury car. And that's when the first sketchy thing happened that first came up. And him and Amanette and Ma'at pulled up, I said, hey, you know, you guys changed my life. You guys changed my life. Let's go upstairs.
So he's now meeting them all. He's now meeting them all. The whole gang, hit the wives, right? With Polight.
And he was like, I'll be back later. I'll drop off the car later. And I was like, hey,
he gives him $3,000 for luxury car rental, which is supposed to be his car to use for himself, right? This is what's happening. This is his mentor. His mentor's going to do all this for him. His mentor is Polight.
Yo, I just want to go see my old homies. I'm from LA. I want to go see my old homies. And he was like, all right, I'll drop off the car later. No word from him that night. And I hit him up late, like, yo, you still dropping this? Like, yo, yeah, if you still need me to drop it off, I'll drop it off. And I'm like, all right. He's like, yo, I'm busy. And I'm like, okay. And then I think the next day comes by and nothing yet. And I'm like, he's like, no, I just wanted the car to be ready. It was raining. Somebody else went and washed the car. The car washed and that. And so.
What's up, Divinely Inspired?
Straight up, nope.
We just listening to how this brother was gaslighted, you know, and how this gaslighting is working and how the lack of accountability is essentially gaslighting from the HOK. They're literally pretending like they know nothing, couldn't do better, had no way of knowing. Why should they take accountability for anything?
No fucking car. And
you must be crazy for thinking what you do, for thinking that you're owed better.
I really think the next step after that, yeah. So that's what happened. And I don't know, for some reason I let it go, because the next thing was like, yo, I'm about to go to Vegas this weekend. You want to come with me? You want to come? I'm about to go in the music studio in Vegas. I want to see if you want to come with me. You know, you want to come? And I'm thinking like, yo, like, what does that mean? Like, do I got to drive behind you? Like, are you gonna be with your wives? Because he's always like, I don't have any men around me. So I was trying to be like respectful. Like, you're like, what are you implying? He's like, what do you mean? Like, and I'm like, yo, I'm not sure. And so that's the first time he flipped out. It's like, did I ever tell you something? Like, did I ever tell you that? And I'm like, nah, bro, I'm just trying to be. He's like, I don't know. He just kind of flipped a little, and I'm like, whoa, all right, like, yeah, of course I want to go. Like, of course, like, I'm totally down to go. And I'm like, yo, I'll even drive. I offer to drive. He's like, no, you don't got to drive. I want to give you the mentorship. I want to go over the mentorship with you on the way there. So just knock out a few things. And I'm thinking, dope, man, dope. So yeah, we go, and then I didn't know it was Nina at the time, but we go and pick her up, and then we go and pick up the cameraman.
I mean, this dude is on videotape. He's on video. He's got a whole video vlog about getting scammed by Polight and how he worked with them and how they moved the money around and who's involved and all of these things. And yet I would think Sarnetta would have, you know, done a whole program on this. You know, I mean, why not? I mean, you know, he seems to have a lot of receipts, right? He's asking for receipts.
Man, who was a hella cool dude. And so we start driving. And then literally, like, he was like, hey, G, you want to drive? And I'm like, all right. So yeah, I pretty much drove the whole way there to Vegas. And no mentorship for me. He was writing lyrics, going over with Nina. He was doing other mentorships, and I'm just having to drive. And then he's tripping out about how soon he needs to be in the studio because it's going to cost him more money. And so I'm literally speeding to Vegas. And we get pulled over, I get the ticket. And he's like, don't worry, put that in your trash, write it off, it's all good. So I get to,
he's speeding, he gets the ticket while speeding, because, you know, he's under pressure to make sure that his other wife gets to the studio on time, or whoever it is, whatever, you know, studio session it is. They get pulled over. Cops give Crypto Roots the ticket, and Polight says, just add that to your trust or whatever. What did he say?
And then we drive to the studio, speeding to Vegas, and we get pulled over. I get the ticket. And he's like, don't worry, put that in your trash, write it off, it's all good. So I get to, and then we drive to the studio. And yeah, we get to the studio, and then we're just chilling. And then check this out. So I stopped drinking.
And see, here's the thing. If you have a person like this, on a program, on people's programs, Vlad, House of Consciousness, and you have them continuously coming on your programming, you're continuously promoting them. Why would someone who doesn't know they're scamming, why would someone see the danger? Why would someone else see the danger when you're not reporting the danger? You're not reporting, you're promoting the individuals, So it may not actually click in everyone's mind that, hey, you might be in on a scam and you might be purposely promoting the scammer, or you might be promoting the scammer to the community and just not care what happens to anybody else. I mean, yeah.
I was going clean because I'm thinking, well, Brother Polight, he doesn't even smoke weed. He doesn't drink alcohol. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, damn, I didn't even want to mention marijuana. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then he's like, yo, you drink, G? And I'm like, no, I don't drink. He's like,
there's a reason why I'm playing this video, because when he approaches a couple more minutes, this is where we're really going to start. I want you to examine what happens to this brother and what he says out of his own mouth.
Oh, all right, well, can you run in the store and can you go grab some Hennessy for us? And I'm like, on the way there, I was like, sorry, bro, but if I don't drink, that's my rule. I don't pay for other people's alcohol. And he just didn't say nothing. And so him and Nina go and they grab the Hennessy, and he grabs like potato chips, a bunch of fucking garbage from the liquor store. Like, seriously, my health master teacher just eating a bunch of fucking garbage, grabbing a Hennessy bottle. And I'm thinking, damn, all right, whatever, like, you know what I'm saying? And then I apologized. I said, hey, yo, like, I apologize if that made you feel uncomfortable about me. Just like, yo, you apologize too much. If we don't invite you around again, now you know why. He said this shit to me, and I'm like, damn, man, like, I'm already fucking up with this dude. Like, I'm just gonna shut the fuck up and just don't say nothing. Like, I'm just not just shut up and don't say nothing.
You already gave him some money. So the abuse is slowly, the gaslighting is slowly coming in. It's slowly starting to be spit out at you. You give him money, and the treatment, you didn't get your product, but you're getting what? You're getting verbal and mental abuse back.
So we hit the music studio that night. I stayed up. I was attentive. Nina, the artist, his wife or whatever, fell asleep. I was because it was my dream to be with Brother Polight, and it was also my dream to be in a professional recording studio making a professional record. So Polight's like, hey, let's break out the shots. And then he's like, yo, it's spiritual. And, I'm like, yeah, it's kind of like Bobby Hammond. I get it. He's like, all right, cool, G. So I take some shots. I have,
I hear you love me through facts.
I didn't want to, literally, I felt some kind of peer pressure. I just didn't want to miss out on the vibe or ruin the vibe. So we did the Vegas thing. I obviously drove back, and what ended up happening was him and Nina got in a big fight, and Nina started disrespecting us. And so he flipped out on Nina.
He said Nina started disrespecting us as if he's inside of that,
really hard, like extremely hard, very hard. And I didn't say nothing. I didn't even look. I didn't say, we did the Vegas thing. I obviously drove back, and what ended up happening was him and Nina got in a big fight, and Nina started disrespecting us. And so he flipped out on Nina really hard, like extremely hard, very hard. And I didn't say nothing. I didn't even look.
Yeah, good question. Who is Nina? I mean, is one of Polight's artists? Or is it also somebody that he's, there's one of his wives at the same time he's an artist, or what?
I didn't say nothing. And I guess at that moment he felt like he could trust me, because I acted like nothing happened the whole time. I didn't tell him to calm down. I just didn't shut up. I ignored the whole situation. So it was afterwards, I drove him back, and I bought them food, bought Nina food. And he was just like, this was the angriest I've ever been in years, and da-da-da-da-da. And I felt like at that moment he opened up more to me. He really, and so, is it still going? All right, man, I don't even know, like, the story goes so deep.
He felt like Polight at that moment was beginning to open up to him. Still more of this this mentor, mentee, friendship. I care about you. Abuse, mentor abuse, friendship abuse.
It goes so deep. So it ended up happening where we get back and we ended up going to dinner. It was one of the other live streams. And at the end of the meal, I had to pay for everything. It was like a $400 bill. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, whoa. He's like, oh, that's an investment, G. That's put into your trust. Put into your trust. I'm gonna try to keep this as chronologically as in order that I can, but there's so many different times and situations. And every time I was driving him, I'm from the jungle. I'm from Hawaii. Yeah, I'm originally from LA, but I spent the last 10, 12 years. So there was so much pressure to drive in LA, get to Polight, to things on time, and just like, and then I was getting pressure from Ra'et, like, why are you going so slow? And, and I'm worried about driving his pregnant wife around Amanette, like, and so it was a lot of anxiety and stress on that. And then I'm paying for Airbnbs. And I'm just literally waiting on Polight to call me. I still don't have no car, by the way. Oh yeah, when we get back to Vegas, he's like, all right, G, you know what? You can keep the car right now. You can keep the car, you can do your thing. And yeah, just drop us off, right? So I ended up having the car for a little bit, but it was his car. I never got the car that I paid for. You know what I'm saying? So I was joking around a little bit. I had a little fun, but at the same time, I'm spending left and right Airbnbs and fast food, thinking like, all right, so when are we gonna get this condo? When are we gonna get this condo? Literally, like weeks and weeks went by, and he's like, "Yo, pay for the furniture." Oh, also, I had to pay for the furniture. It was like $3 or $4 grand before I went out there.
So he got him on the hook for the first investment, which is a condominium share or something like that they invest in.
So I paid him that, and he was like, "Oh, there's real estate fees. I have people looking all over," so I paid him that, and then it ended up being storage fees for the furniture, so I had to pay him that. And I'm thinking, all right, like I'm about to get all this back. And there's just so many times where I had to rush him and his wives or him and Nina to the airport, had to go pay for the baggage. Yo, pay for this. Yo, pay for that. All this, I had to pay for him left and right. And I'm thinking, damn. Like, and there was times, like the first time, I kept asking him for books. Yo, Polight, can I get a book? When can I set up the trust? When we can get the condo? And at that point, I felt it was kind of cheaper just to sleep in the car. You know what I'm saying? So and then I hit a point where I'm like, yo, honestly, like, I can't do it. And he just flipped out. And he was just like, you know what? I'm giving you your refund back. I got a private interest holdings account. I'm just going to refund you your money. How disrespectful. I did all this work for you. And I'm thinking, like, about to cry. Like, fuck, did I just ruin this opportunity? It's like, change my life. Like, and, man. And he's just like, yo, we need to meet up. So he goes, we meet.
He thinks he's the one about to ruin the opportunity. An opportunity that's not even there. It's all fiction, except the fact that he's got to pay for it.
Meet up, and we start building and start talking. And I don't know, this is what he does. He's a magician with words. But he ended up calming me down. And I said, all right, cool, no worry. He's like, yo, oh yeah, and you just need a little bit more investment, right?
Yeah, he must have been very young when he left LA, I think.
So I gave him like a couple $1,000, $2,000. And also, man, there's just so many times. And so,
yep, Donnie.
So I'm trying to think about all the times I gave him money. And so, the tax liens, I kept bugging, nothing. I haven't heard nothing. He said that was pending. The trust, never heard. I was begging him for books, hardly ever got them. You know what I'm saying? And then that's gonna be part one, right? That's gonna be part one. Pause it. What up, YouTube?
Yeah, so this guy, he's actually feeling like he's the one who's about to blow the opportunity, and yeah, he feels that way. And that's so sad. He feels like he's the one who is who's being wrong, who's doing wrong, right? And but in fact, he's not the one doing wrong. He's just the person. He's the actual victim here. He's the actual victim, and he's not doing wrong. He's not doing wrong at all, sadly enough. Yeah, let's see here. It's so sad. It's so sad what happened to this brother. Let's see here.
crypto roots. And I just want to say I appreciate all the support. You know, this is going to be part 2 about my experience being Brother Polight's mentee. And this is nothing but the truth. I'm at the point where I'm already facing, I probably won't get my money back. And I'm doing whatever I can on the back end to see what I can do to get back. But he's ignoring my calls. He's not talking to me. But now I just want to, and I've been sick within the 3 times within the last like month and a half. I haven't been getting sleep. The anxiety it's been rough. So
he's been sick for the last 3 months, 3.5 months. He's experiencing anxiety, right? All because of him meeting Polight. And the relationship is not over yet.
I need to get this off my chest so I can move forward and do positive things for myself and our community. So, hotel investments.
No, Smoke Reloaded. He didn't kill himself. Actually, he didn't at all.
I forgot to mention that. So I told you about the tax liens. Now, before I went out to LA, Polight was saying, "Hey, yo, I flip hotel rooms. You want to get in on that investment?" And I'm saying, obviously, sure. So he's like, "All right, well, I buy rooms in Vegas or in LA, and then I flip them to wealthy clients. You could pay for the room, and then you'll get a return on your investment." And so I said, yeah. So for like 2 weeks, almost every day or every other day, Polight would call me, say, "Stay on the phone. I'm gonna get the hotel people." He calls the hotel people. Soon as they're ready to charge, he tells me to give him my debit card information to LA, so I can move forward and do positive things.
Did he just give this dude more money?
So, hotel investments. I forgot to mention that. So I told you about the tax liens. Now, before I went out to LA, Polight was saying, "Hey, yo, I flip hotel rooms."
Okay. This is before he met him. Okay, I got it.
I flip hotel rooms.
So when he went out there, that was that was the continuation. He was getting scammed in small petty ways.
You want to get in on that investment? And I'm saying, obviously, sure. So he's like, "All right, well, I buy rooms in Vegas or in LA, and then I flip them to wealthy clients. You could pay for the room, and then you'll get a return on your investment." And so I said, yeah. So for like 2 weeks, almost every day.
Indeed loved me for his body. His instincts were telling him to stop.
Every other day, Polight would call me, say, "Stay on the phone. I'm gonna get the hotel people." He calls the hotel people. Soon as they're ready to charge, he tells me to give him my debit card information. And I do, because I'm his mentee now. You know what I'm saying? I already came this far. So
Smoke Reloaded. You know, it's a good question that you're asking or you're posing. You don't see why he kept giving him his money. But there's a lot of people that, you know, think about all the people. This is where we're going. Think about all the people that go to Sonetta TV, right? After Sonetta cursed them out, called their wife a hoe or a bitch. All of these things, talk about people's mothers, talk about their kids, and think about how many people go back there, right? Why do you think they continue to go back? It's the same question. Why do you think they go back, right? I mean, is there a logical answer? Or is it because they want to believe something good can come out of it, although everything wrong is coming out of it? I mean, it's a good question.
I'm not even sure how much I invested. It's anywhere from $8,000 to $9,000 in hotel rooms, maybe.
I mean, why do prostitutes continue to go back to pimps when the pimps are clearly abusing them physically, but they're also doing it mentally? And that's the part we're getting at today. How somebody is able to do this, confuse people. What tactics do they use against them mentally to get them involved?
I'm not sure. And I was supposed to get, later he told me I was going to get about 16,000 back or something like that. So I was really impressed. So now I'm paying for rooms, expensive hotels in Vegas and the Luxor and on Dawes in LA, and it have to be a certain square footage, and he's got wealthy clients. And he told me, "I'm gonna send you an itemized list of all that you purchase, all the hotel rooms. I'm gonna send you a list. My accountant or somebody's gonna send you a list."
You got to remember, his first view of Polight was that Polight was a great black man. He's being promoted in the conscious community as a person that cares about the community, cares about people like him. And so people's defenses when they meet Polight, their defenses are already down because they're thinking this guy is the new Martin Luther King, the new Malcolm X, the new, Harriet Tubman of his time. That's literally what he was being sold as, the boy genius, the phenom, Polight. That's how he was being promoted by HOK, by Sonetta Studios. So that's how a lot of people met him. I mean, if he was promoted as this guy is a scammer, don't ever touch him, stay away from him. He's the dirtiest piece of shit on earth. He'll scam your mother, he'll scam your daughter, he'll scam your sister, your cousin. Stay away from him. He'll rape your kids. Then your defenses would be up when you see him. But that's not how he was promoted.
I'm thinking dope, like something like official now, something I could get official. And I waited, and then I never got anything. And then I hit him up because he was calling me for more hotel rooms nonstop.
Yeah, it was his dad actually that gave him the money when his dad passed away.
Yeah. And I said, yo, I never got the list. He's like, you never got it? I'm gonna send it. Well, I'm gonna send it again. I'm gonna send it again. I'm gonna send it.
And love me for he never knew his dad. He didn't grow up with his dad.
I'm gonna have my somebody, a CPA or somebody, send it again. And I said, okay. And that was kind of that. Like, and then it just so happened, like, what he does is he just presents more and more opportunities, and then you get distracted by trying to keep up with all the opportunities. And he has, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna send this. So we already had the tax liens. I sent him money for the trust. I sent him money for the mentorship. I sent him money for the tax liens, and then I was paying on the phone for the hotel rooms. With my debit card. And then he presented the condo opportunity. So I got a list of I just have a list of just these different things that are just eating at my consciousness, and I have to just let them out. So, and they're not exactly in chronologically order, but I'm explaining them best I can. So I was sleeping in Polight. I was Polight's driver 24/7, and I felt like to be in his inner circle.
He was Polight's driver 24/7.
I had to do something to provide something, more than just my investment money. Because he's like, I normally don't invite mentees. I normally don't invite people out here. I don't even hang out with men, da-da-da. So I felt like being his driver was the one way to kind of just be in a circle and kind of like just, be a part of whatever he's doing and just kind of watch and observe and, take notes. And so I was at his beck and call. I was sleeping in his car. Every time I'd fall asleep, he'd call me 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. It didn't matter. I had to get up, and because it was his car, remember? I was paying, and I didn't even realize it was rented. He told me it was his car. And so one night, he calls me and say, hey, can you meet me over here? I'm thinking, damn. So I drive, and I'm like sleep in the car. He pulls up, and he's got this other woman there, and he's got like house slippers and shit. And I'm thinking, damn, like he just got done smashing. Like in my head, he just got done smashing, like no joke. And he's like, yo, can you drop her off? And I've never seen this girl before. And I'm like looking at her like, what? Like, and he's just like, yo, she lives about 30 minutes away. I'm like, damn, man, 30 minutes away. It's like, I'm fucking tired. I'm like, all right, man, no problem. I'll do it, And this chick, I'm not here to be judging no one, but as far as the woman Polight, she was not at all nearly attractive. And I'm thinking, whoa, like Polight would smash this chick. She started smoking cigarettes in the car. I'm thinking like, yo, like, can you?
You hear this? The chick was not nearly as attractive. She's smoking cigarettes, and he's thinking Polight just smashed her, right?
What Polight like?
What do y'all think about that?
Banks chicks that smoke cigarettes. I'm thinking like in my head, like she's loud, she's overweight, she's talkative, and I ended up driving her over an hour and a half away in the middle of the night, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. I had to drive her. If you ever been from LA to Vegas, damn near literally on the way to Vegas, I had to drop her off. And not only that, I had to drive all the way back to get to my Airbnb just to get some sleep. And I was so upset and angry with Polight. Like I wanted to just be like, yo, I can't do this. I can't drive more than 30 minutes away. Like I and I didn't say nothing. I just kept it to myself. And so a few weeks, like a couple nights later,
he didn't say anything. He just kept it to himself. Like a lot of victims do. A lot of victims of abuse, they don't say anything. They just keep it to themselves. And often when they say something, they're told, keep it to yourself. Don't say nothing. Why are you talking about it? Why are you bringing it up? You only bringing it up because you're jealous. You da la la. You trying to get views.
Polight hits me up. He's like, you got an old $50 bill. And I'm like, what the what is he? He's like, I know it's odd, but do you have an old $50 bill? And I'm like, nah, bro. Like, I can go in the store and check to maybe see if they have an old. That's like the weirdest request I've ever heard anyone ask me. So I go and I'm asking people like, nah, we just got new $50 bills. And I'm like, Polight, like they just got new $50 bills. And he's just like, all right, whatever, bring it. And I get in the car with Polight, and he's like, yo, you know that chick the other day? She catfished me. She showed me fake pictures. She pretended to be someone she's not. It was a mentorship. I'm like, damn, bro, I thought you smashed her. He's like, nah, no way. She paid me for the mentorship, so I went and picked her up and da. And she was just talking. I'm like, damn, like he's like, bro, she drove me over. He's like, what? And he's like, yo, he's like, she left her wallet in my car. And she keeps calling me to get her wallet out of my car because she has her last $200. But it just so happens that my aunt asked me for some money, came in my car, and went in the black wallet and took the wallet, thinking it was her dad's money, but ended up being the lady's money, right? So, and then Aminette comes a few days later and finds that woman's ID in Polight's car, and like, who is this chick? And Polight's like, I don't know who that is. Who is this chick? And so he's like, yo, Aminette was tripping on me. And so he's like, yo, I got to get this chick out of my life. Like she's, I don't know, she probably purposely left her wallet in my car. And she said she left the last $200, and I need to mail her wallet with the money back. But he's like, my aunt took the money and spent it. And he's like, I'm so fucking smart. I'm a genius. I know how much money was exactly there. So he's like, can you give me $100 bill? Can you give me a $50 bill? Can you give me a $5 bill? And I'm like, he's like, can you put in the wallet? And he's like, I'll pay you back later. Put in the wallet, and can you mail it overnight? And I'm like, he's like, I need to get this off me as soon as possible. And I'm like, all right. At that time, like I'm already in too deep. So I had to give him my $155. I had to go to the post office, wait in line.
This might explain a lot of the hanger-ons, possibly at HOK. They're already in too deep.
Paid $27 to have it overnight shipped it to her so that Polight wouldn't have to trip no more, wouldn't have to worry. I did that shit, never paid me back. All right. So now this was towards the end of my experience with him. And this is just whatever way I wrote it down. And I was waiting in the park because the car rental, I was sleeping in his car. And I at this point, I ran out of most of my money. I gave it most to Polight. And so the car had to get took and had to go on a run. I don't know what that meant. So I was out on the streets with my luggage. And I'm like, Polight, like this, like I need a place to stay. I'm in the park. And I've been in the park. He's like, yo, I'm gonna get somebody to get you a hotel room. You're gonna be all right. It's be cool. And da. Just wait at the park. This was the second day in a row. I didn't even tell you about the day before. I waited in the park with all my luggage for like 7 hours, right? And I'm from Hawaii. LA was super cold. I'm sitting there and it's dark at night. I'm out there. I'm like, Polight, yo. He was texting me throughout the whole day. Yo, within the next hour, I'm gonna get you. And I'm sitting there and it's cold and dark at night. And I got all my luggage with me. There was a manhunt. Helicopters, police, all guns coming out in the park. I'm the only one with the park. The helicopters are coming and they're shining the light on me. The police are all coming. I'm the only one in the park, black dude in LA with all my shit. And I'm like, wow. Like, I can't even move. I can't even run. Like, I'm just like total suspect right now. The lights are on me. And I take a picture and show Polight. I send the picture like, yo, Polight, like, I need to get out of here. Like they're out there on a manhunt right now. It's like, well, if you didn't do anything wrong, you shouldn't be worried about it. You da. And I'm like, whoa, like he's texting, I'm sitting in the video. And he's like, oh, you're just paranoid. You're just always paranoid because I smoke weed. So he just likes to take advantage of that and say I'm paranoid. I'm like, nah, bro, I'm actually kind of keeping my cool as much as possible. So I need a place now, man. Like I've been waiting all day. I need a place now. I'm cold, bro. So I get a text later and he's like, all right, confirmation, show up to this hotel and you got it's already paid for you, right? I still have to pay for my own Uber there. So I just slowly, as the helicopters are looking at me, I'm like slowly walking towards the street, like fuck, like walking by cops are like shining their lights on me. And I'm like, just like, and then I get my Uber. I go to the hotel room. So by the way, I'm paying for Nina's hotel rooms at the most expensive ones in Hollywood. I'm paying for hotel rooms over in Vegas. I'm paying for expensive hotels left and right. I'm thinking Polight, like in my mind, this was me being foolish, thinking like, yo, I'm at least get like a nice spot to stay for the night, like to sleep for the night. Nope. Ended at some like kind of dirtbag like hotel, and I show up to the dude, and the woman was like,
did you purchase this? I'm like, no, somebody else purchased it for me. And he's like, no, you have to show your ID. You have to show your credit. You have to be the purchaser to go to check in. And I'm like, are you serious? Like, he's like, yeah, that's the way we do it. And I'm thinking, damn, I'm almost breaking down. I call.
So he can't even get into the hotel that's supposedly rented for him, and it's a flea bag hotel. Although with his money, he's paying for luxury facilities for Polight. This is what he says. This is his testimony.
I'm like, yo, man, like they said I had to be the purchaser of the ticket to check in the room. He's like, what? They never do. He's like, they never do that at the fancy hotels. And I'm thinking, why didn't you just get me a fucking room? Like at a hotel, like, you know, like in my mind. And this was like the part, this was getting that close. So he's like, all right, well, go to this other hotel over on Sunset somewhere in West Hollywood. And it's going to only cost you $80 a night. I'll pay you back. And I'm thinking, so I had to pay for an Uber there. I show up, dirtier, nastier hotel, like than the one before. And I'm thinking, so I go and I check in, and it's an Indian couple, and they start disrespecting me. They start trying to steal my money. They're overcharging me. I told them, and then they didn't even give me a receipt. I had to ask them. They just like were so rude to me. I go in the room. I look in the room. It literally looked like someone died in the room. It looked like it's 1970s. It was like some Jim Morrison hotel. That was the hotel where Jim Morrison said it was old, and the room was dirty. And I broke down, man. I wanted to fucking die. I really wanted to kill myself. I wanted to die. I was like, why would this person fucking do this to me? Like, why? And why? Like, why would I? I'm alone. I'm broke, and I didn't give it all up. And this is what I get in return. And he's calling me paranoid. He's calling me, just chill out, bro. And so that's when I broke down.
He's calling him paranoid, right? I mean, haven't we heard this before? It's excuses, right? I mean, he's getting everything that he wants, but what is he giving back when the person starts to figure out something's not right? You're paranoid.
And I'm lucky I couldn't find something to really hang myself from, and I cried myself to sleep. And then I woke up the next morning. I told Polight I couldn't do this. I gotta leave. So now, fast forward that, I'm driving his car around.
But I gotta tell you, before you think that this man is weak, you know, the reality is that this man found more courage than most people, because he found the courage to come right out here on camera and tell his testimony, something most people are too afraid to do. They do not have the courage to do it. Why? Because you feel stupid, of course. You feel dumb. I mean, who wants to let the world know how stupid they were, how they got scammed by someone? And then not only that, it's not stupid. Stupid is the wrong word. Why would anyone want to let someone know how they got violated? Because this is being violated on the most extreme level. You know, it's disgusting here. You know, I mean, this is like some sort of mental rape.
I mean, backwards. And let me know when it's like, you know, I'm driving his car around, and the battery kept dying. The car battery kept dying of the black GMC. And I had to keep getting it jumped. And he kept blaming it on me. Like, you're just running the battery dry. I'm like, dude, I'm barely using it. And one time his other mentee, we were sleeping in the car with me and his other mentee, who he owes over 50.
Mind fucking them. And check this out. There's another mentee with them and sleeping in the car together.
DK2. We were sleeping in the car for weeks together, man. It was so uncomfortable. Like, it was uncomfortable because we had to always drive everyone around. So he gave his mentee money to go buy car jumper batteries to get the car jumped. Then he told the mentee to go return it for the money back. And I'm thinking, why, in my head, why would you do that when you know the car? Just have it. It's better to have it on you. And I constantly had to keep asking random people on the street, can you please give me a jump?
Did you hear that?
K2. And he kept blaming it on me. Like, you're just running the battery dry. I'm like, dude, I'm barely using it. And one time his other mentee, we were sleeping in the car with me and his other mentee, who he owes over 50K to. We were sleeping in the car for weeks together, man. It was so uncomfortable.
Another mentee who he owes $50,000 to is sleeping in this man's car.
Like, it was uncomfortable because we had to always drive everyone around. So he gave his mentee money to go buy.
And it's not even his car.
Car jumper batteries. Sleeping in the car with me and his other mentee, who he owes over 50K to. we were sleeping in the car for weeks together, man. It was so uncomfortable. Like, it was uncomfortable because we had to always drive everyone around. So he gave his mentee money to go buy car jumper batteries to get the car jump. Then he told the mentee to go return it for the money back. And I'm thinking, why, in my head, why would you do that when you know the car? Just have it. It's better to have it on you. And I constantly had to go keep asking random people on the street, can you please give me a jump?
Them jumper cables cost $20.
And I had to keep doing it after that because I'm like, yo, can you get this car changed? Car battery changed. So one of the nights I had to keep getting the car battery changed. He invited me to the movies with his family. He's like, AJ, you want to come to the movies with my family? And I'm like, sure, bro. Like, you know, because he kept calling, you like family now. You like my little brother. You like family now. Like, you cool. He's like,
hell no, I don't want to go to the movies because you probably want me to pay for it.
He was like, even told me I was going to invite you to stay with us so we can work on the crypto course. And I'm thinking, damn, in the back of my head, like, that would save me money and make me, and that's the biggest trip. That's after.
So he's going to bait him again with the crypto course. This is some hard loving here.
The Texas trip. So I'm getting out of it. So he asked me to go to the movies, but I got so exhausted from just running around and driving him around, not getting sleep, that it got late at night and Polight was supposed to go to the movies, and I didn't know what time. And then Amanette called me, and I just was about to pass out. And I texted Amanette, and I'm like, yo, I can't make it. Can you tell Polight I can't make it? And
so Amanette is calling him.
I knocked out hard. And then I wake up until my phone, Polight's just furious, yelling at me. But, Amanette, say you refuse to go to the movies, and, how dare you? I paid for your ticket, and, da-da-da. And I'm thinking, fuck, like, he's like screaming at me. He's like, did you talk to me? Did you call me? Did you call me? It's like, you call Amanette. Da-da-da-da-da. And I'm thinking, bro, like, I'm sorry, like I was tired, bro. I thought you had, like, I told you I thought you had to actually go to the movies to buy tickets. Like, and it's like, no, bro, it's 2019. You can buy tickets online now. And I'm like, well, I don't know, man. Like, I haven't been in the movies. I don't ever go to the movies, ever. Like, It's like, all right, well, whatever. I'm not tripping. Like, whatever. It's all good. Da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, all right, I apologize, bro. From now on, I'll talk to you directly if there's anything that goes on. And so I had to deal with that. Now, when I get to LA, also, when we went to Vegas, I had to pay for our hotel rooms to do the music studio with Nina. Somehow, some way, we come up with a hit record.
Exactly. It's verbal abuse, and they all adding into it. I mean, somebody to abuse? Why not? Let me get a little bit of time on that.
I'm not gonna lie. Nina's not. I'm not just trying to like straight up disrespect her, but she's not that talented. She's pretty, and she's not that talented. Sorry, I'm in Mexico, only just blowing up fireworks. But so Polight's writing her lyrics.
And that's the worst part about it, There's people witnessing that. There's people that notice. And all of those people ain't say a goddamn thing to this man.
And kind of rehearse her. She's not a rapper, she's not a singer, she's not a dancer. But somehow she pulls it off when we get a hit record. Polight goes to a club one night. I drop all of him and his wives off. And I refused to go in the club because I didn't like the atmosphere. There's just too much homeless people everywhere. And I told Amanette, there's just too much poverty for me to try to enjoy myself with all this wealth around. So Polight hands the CD, hands the record. People like it. Apparently, that's what he tells me. So the next day, Polight's like, yo, meet me here. So I meet him there, and he's like, yo, it's unbelievable, bro. I just signed a deal, $1.2 million with Sony for Nina. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's unbelievable. And he's like, I liked your vibe, bro. I liked your energy. Like, I liked having you around. And since this is what comes out of having you around, I want you to be part of this deal. We just got to shoot another song. We got to make two more music videos. And, saying, he's like, I'm going to give you 10%. I'm going to give you 120,000, just for joining and being along and, saying what it handle.
I mean, this sounds exactly like a pimp prostitute relationship. I love you. I love you. I love you. Yeah, I can't do it without you. Now get out there and get my money.
And everything we need. I'm like, wow, damn, 6 figures, like, just for hanging out. And just, it's my dream to be in the music industry and seeing this. And I'm like, whoa. So I'm just like caught up. And then a few days later,
you will be surprised how many people get caught up with this love bombing, this whole thing about I love you, those words. How many people that have never had anybody appreciate them in their life, and when they get someone that seems like they appreciate them, they fall for every goddamn thing. It's so tragic.
Polight's like, yo, you know what, like, we really grinding, you know what I'm saying? Like, I like your vibe, your energy. I'm gonna give you 15% or something. He's like, I'm gonna give you 150,000. You just rock with us. I may need a little investment. Like, I may need just a little bit, but it's nothing. It's nothing. Like,
That's a good question you raise, Wab. Seriously.
you're gonna make so much money back in return. She's like, I just need about $3,000. And I'm like, oh, okay, like, that's cool. Like, you know, in the back of my mind,
He's not around to speak about it, though.
I said, we still haven't got the condo. We still haven't even looked at any condos.
All we have is his testimony, which is deep. It's prolific. Look, you see how long it goes? You see how long this goes? This is a whole lot. This is a whole lot. You know, this is a whole lot.
And I'm thinking, damn, like, I'm spending all this money, but like, I'm out here, I'm spending money to, like, will I have enough money for the condo? So I'm saying, like, let's not pass out on this opportunity. Let's not pass out on this opportunity. So I give him $3,000. And he's like, oh, we're gonna buy a strip club for the night. I'm gonna pay for the strip club. We're gonna shoot the music video, da 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 da. And I'm thinking, all right, like, cool, like, you know, sure. Now, so, and then a couple weeks later, he's like, yo, da 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 da. We're doing big business. It's gonna be.
You know, not the worst part. The man is dead. That's the worst part. The worst part is he has a son. Didn't get to grow up to even know who his father was. Yeah. And the mom's, she's alone with the child too. You know, but outside of that, this guy was the type of guy that although he got his inheritance, he never spent any money on himself. He was actually a guy that if he didn't meet Polight, he would have been perfectly fine. He would have been set. Him and his family, his baby moms, his baby, they would have been set because he wasn't spoiling his money. He was living frugal. He was actually doing what you're supposed to do.
Be big. I need $2 more $1,000. So it's like $5,000. That's it. That's it. $5,000, and you're gonna make $150,000 back. And I'm thinking, I'm in too deep now at this point. So, and he's like, I'm gonna get.
That's the second time he said that. I'm in too deep at this point. And it just makes me wonder, like, is that the same kind of relationship people have with Sonetta? Like, that they're in too deep? Because a lot of the things that the excuses that they make to keep being around, to keep being involved, it's like, it just makes you wonder, what could it be? Because he could treat them all like dirt, and yet they're still there. There's something more to this picture.
I'm gonna get you to $250,000. He told me this while I'm sitting. He's like, I'm gonna get you to $250,000. You know what I'm saying? 250,000. That's my goal for you. So in the back of my mind, it's like, yo, don't ruin this opportunity with your master teacher who's trying to get you to 250,000. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, Web Funk. He blew it.
He's like, that money you started off with from your father's insurance, life insurance, you're gonna make back that twice and more in return. I'm thinking, damn. All right. So we hit that $5,000 budget, and I'm gonna tell you how we hit that $5,000 budget. But it just so happens he needed $2 more $1,000 a couple weeks later, so $7,000 budget. Ended up being I had to buy Nina's clothes, thousands of dollars worth of Nina's clothes.
I think so, Imhotep. I think so.
Every time Nina went out, literally every time Nina went out, she had to have a new outfit. Had to, and she spent hours buying it, and I kept pissing Polight off because he kept having to miss the events. And we show up to the event, and it's already over, and Nina's all dressed up. I'm not saying she's a slut, but she's dressed and slutty, like literally dressed and slutty. And I'm paying for the whole thing. It's like, save your receipts. That's investing. Save your receipts. Save your receipts.
Dressing slutty. Okay.
Right. And I'm paying for all her clothes, and her clothes are just piling up. Shoes, heels, this and that, and I didn't realize at the time.
Did we see any of these clothes? Have we seen any of these clothes in any of these pictures? Was Crypto Roots around Floyd Mayweather at all during this time? Has he seen any of that? I mean, all of this is like I guess he documented this 4 years ago. Is that what it says? 4 years ago. Yep. So this had to be 5 years ago. This is LA. I wonder if he was around Floyd Mayweather at this time. Not going after Floyd. I'm just curious because there's a lot of videos where Floyd actually pops up, and one, it actually seems like he's endorsing him.
I was paying for all the studio time. I didn't realize I was paying for the engineer. I didn't realize I was paying for Loaded Lux. I didn't realize that. I didn't realize I was paying for King Losis studio because Polight invited them to get a track with Nina, and I didn't realize. And then while at the studio, he would have me, he's like, yo, G, can you run to the ATM and withdraw as much as you can? And I'm like, I can only pull out $500 like for a day. He's like, all right, pull that out. And he would have me go to downtown LA or someplace sketchy in the middle of the night because they're recording in the studio all night. And I have to, bums, fucking weirdos, drug addicts, I'm having to pull out $500 in cash by myself in the middle of the night, like in LA and Hollywood. Like, and I get back to this, I'm like, I can't do that, man. Like, I can't do that. Like, he's like, all right, G, yeah, all right. So that was the whole, and apparently later, Nina didn't even know about that he was cutting me on the deal. And there was an argument about him and her over the money. And then they got in an argument. Remember, I told you he flipped out.
So he's basically, this is the interesting part. Doesn't this sound familiar? These kind of tactics? It's like everybody's in on it. They don't care if one person's getting scammed, but what they don't realize is they also getting scammed too. The scam can kind of flow in their direction a little bit. You don't know. Once you're sitting there watching one person get scammed, you actually open yourself up to be scammed by the same person. This is getting real interesting.
They had an argument over who should have more camera time. I'm not joking. Like literally, like they were so high on their egotistical attention thing. They were fighting over who should have more camera time while the production of the music album. Like, and I'm thinking, I didn't say nothing. We still got some time?
It's 24 minutes.
24 minutes. All right. One last thing. I paid one time. Polight called me up, and at 2:00 in the morning, he already had the car. They took the car, and he called me up, and he's like, "Yo, G, you got a place I can stay? The hotel didn't work out for me and Nina. Can we stay at your Airbnb right now?" And I'm thinking, fuck, like, I guess I could just like kind of like clean up my room and let them stay on sleep on the couch. And then I realized there was another extra room in the Airbnb, but the owners it was already late. And I'm thinking, damn, this is so disrespectful and such a risk, but I'm gonna have to take it because this is my master teacher. So I'm saying, yeah, bro, I got a place for you to stay. Tonight. So he comes in late at night with Nina. I say, hey, you can stay in this room. In the morning, I text the owner. I'm saying, hey, yo, like, I apologize. I know I shouldn't have done this, but my mentor, he needed a place. They were like, you what? Oh my God, we were you should have got kicked out last night because someone was supposed to show up at the exact same time, but you're lucky that they didn't show up. They missed the flight, and I had to I paid for the room. I'm like, and I'm telling like Polight, I'm getting low on money. Can you reimburse me? And then Polight's like, oh, something about your trust needs to be upgraded. And I'm like, all right, just put it towards the trust, man. Like, put it towards the trust. And
just put it towards the trust. This is like, this is just put it towards the trust. It's terrible.
Like, open up our hearts to each other. And then I told her about Brother Polight. And then I told him what I was going through. And the first thing she said is like, it sounds like he's breadcrumbing you. And I was like, what's breadcrumbing? And she was like, oh, it's like when ex-boyfriends like try to stay in touch with their ex-girlfriends or just check in or just give enough to pull them in, to make sure that they're still around, that they're still there. And I'm like, fuck, like, because I tried to give up. I tried to disconnect myself with Polight after I wanted the hotel room where I felt like I wanted to die. And
do you think, I mean, does this sound familiar to any of y'all? What do y'all think so far? I mean, because to me, I hear these tactics. They sound very, very familiar. I don't know. They sound familiar to me.
He kept getting angry at me, apologizing. It's all good, G. And while I was hanging out with him, he kept saying, I don't hang around with dudes. But I like hanging out with you, bro. Like, I like hanging out with you. Like, you're into different things I'm into that other people just aren't into. And he's just like telling me about the problems with his wives and just like how, and then he told me about Victoria, and he was just like, she was giving me so much trouble. He was telling me about like, and I was just like, damn. He's like, yeah, I'm breaking up with, he's like, it's crazy because as I'm ready to break up with another woman, you come in. And I'm thinking, he's like, man, I'm not going to fight it or what the universe, but there's a reason you came into my life, And I'm just sitting there just like humble, like just, or whatever, just appreciate it. And that's how we met. And I went through a hard time. We're just like, open up our hearts to each other. And then I told her about Brother Polight. And then I told him what I was going through. And the first thing she said is like, it sounds like he's breadcrumbing you. And I was like, what's breadcrumbing? And she was like, oh, it's like when ex-boyfriends like try to stay in touch with their ex-girlfriends or just check in or just give enough to pull them in, to make sure that they're still around, that they're still there. And I'm like, fuck, like, because I tried to give up. I tried to disconnect myself with Polight after I wanted the hotel room where I felt like I wanted to die. And he kept getting angry at me, apologizing. It's all good, G. And while I was hanging out with him, he kept saying, I don't hang around with dudes. I don't hang around with dudes. I don't hang around with dudes.
I mean, this is straight gaslighting, you know, but it's at such a phenomenal rate, at a phenomenal frequency. It's like up, down, it's extremes, total extremes, you know, from gimme to, hey man, can I sit down and talk to you? You know, let me share what happened to me this day, man. Thank you for listening to my troubles, you know. You're a really good friend type of situation. It's
but I like hanging out with you, bro. Like, I like hanging out with you. Like, you're into different things I'm into that other people just aren't into. And he's just like telling me about the problems with his wives, and just like how, and then he told me about Victoria, and he was just like, she was giving me so much trouble. He was telling me about like, and I was just like, damn. He's like, hey, I gotta break up with, I'm breaking up with, he's like, it's crazy because as I'm ready to break up with another woman, you come in. And I'm thinking, he's like, man, he's like, he's like, I'm not gonna fight it or what the universe, but there's a reason you came into my life, you know?
This is just straight up manipulation. It's a reason why you came into my life right as I'm about to break up. I mean, this is like some serious vampire spiritual sucking, some serious narcissistic type of gaslighting.
And I'm just sitting there just like humble, like just or whatever, just I appreciate it. And so he would constantly tell me like, I don't hang around with dudes. And when he got angry at me and I would like try to speak up, he'd be like, bruh, that I ain't homosexual, and you texting me too much. And he would bring, and then after I left to Mexico, he was just like, I want my money back, Polight, oh, you acting emotional, bro, you acting emotional. And I'm like, bro, I want my money, I'm confused, like, oh, and I'm like, how's being confused emotional? Oh, it's an
How many of you people think that Polight is homosexual? I mean, there's people that have brought that up before. How he walks, you know, certain things that, you know, mannerisms and things like that. But this man, it sounds like he's suggesting something like that. Let me go back.
really asked me, yo, you think he likes you? He kind of sounded like he actually like likes you, like more than just like, and I'm like, nah, no way, bro. He's got like 3 wives, no way. She was just like, all right. Like, I was shocked, like he was screaming at Almanette like that. And I get back in the car and I say nothing. Act like nothing happened. So I'm thinking, why would you tell me not to? I'm barely making small comments about like not feeling, you know, and he's yelling at his conceiving wife, screaming. So that was like, whoa, totally came out of nowhere, caught me off guard. There was another time where Polight was trying to purchase basketball tickets, and for some reason he bought tickets, but it didn't work out, couldn't confirm refund. So he's on the phone with the customer service people, loses his shit. Fuck you, god damn it. He just screams because apparently he lost out on $5,000 just within that moment of him purchasing tickets or something like that, and couldn't get refunded. And so I'm seeing this man like several times absolutely berserk lose his shit. And I'm thinking, damn, like I've kind of grown out of that stage in my life. Like I've kind of grown out of really kind of like losing my shit on people, you know what I'm saying? Spiritually, I kind of, you know, and to see my spiritual master totally like not totally lose his shit. And I wouldn't say all the time, because he either says very little when he's angry, or he just goes off like, oh, and that's rare, like, you know, and I saw it like 3 or 4 different times. And it happened to me 3 different times. So now, let me get into it. Now, here's the thing. When I met, I reunited with my ex-girlfriend out in LA. It's been 10 years since we saw each other. I hit her up, and we still miss each other. We still love each other. We started hanging out. And then I told her about Brother Polight, because I was about real estate and everything. And then I showed her, she was like, wow, like, oh, wow, cool. Like, and then I told her, like, yo, Polight's kind of doing me dirty right now. He's kind of doing me dirty. He's not really paying me. And I'm just stressed out. I have to drive everywhere. And then he's like angry at me. And I'm showing her the texts. And then it just so happens that Polight calls me when I'm with her, and then starts going on the phone and asking me and talking to me about things. And I'm like, hang up the phone. I'm like, tell her, like, yo, what's up? And she literally asked me, yo, you think he likes you? He kind of sounded like he actually like likes you. like more than just like, and I'm like, nah, no way, bro. He's got like 3 wives, no way. She was just like, all right, I guess, you know. And I was like, and in the back of my mind, I'm thinking like, damn, I'm kind of feeling like the submissive person in this whole situation. So I had to money.
Did you hear that? Did y'all hear that? Are you hearing this? Polight probably acted that phone call fake performance to show this kid he fit authorities contact. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't put anything past him, Wap Funk. But did you hear this part about do you think that's an act? What did he just say?
Issues got tight and things, so I had to more than just like, and I'm like, and I'm like, tell her like, yo, what's up? And she literally asked me, yo, you think he likes you? He kind of sounded like he actually like likes you, like more than just like, and I'm like, nah, no way, bro. He's got like 3 wives, no way. She was just like, all right, I guess, you know. And I was like, and in the back of my mind, I'm thinking like, damn, I'm kind of feeling like the submissive person in this whole situation. So I had to, money issues got tight and things, so I had to hit up my ex in Maui because I still have good relationships with my ex.
You know, I wonder myself, like, you know, would he smash anything, or would he, or what is he into these other things that people know about, but that people close to him know about, but it's just not promoted openly?
Girlfriend. And so I hit her up and I let her know what was going on, and you know, brother Polight, and I'm out in, you know, I'm at LA, and she's like, oh, I missed you, I hope you're doing well. And I let her know what was going on. She was like, what you gave? And I'm like, yeah, I don't know, you know, I'm working on getting the trust and purchasing the condo. And I told her like what was happening and how Polight was like going off and yelling at me and then apologizing, being nice. And she asked me like,
you hear that? Yelling, then apologizing and being nice. Yelling, then apologizing and being nice. All the extremes.
Like he likes you, like actually like really likes you. And I'm like, you're the second woman that said that. I'm like, nah, no way, right? So ended up, fast forward, I go to
I mean, this is a little weird, because is it like a relationship? Are they trying to say this is what happens in relationships, or are they saying this is what happens in abusive relationships? Like, because for me, I'm like, this sounds abusive, like it happens in abusive relationships. But these women are suggesting that, I guess for whatever reasons they have, that it has something to do with him liking him in a romantic way.
And this is later. So I go to Mexico. I meet my current girl, and I'm telling her she was going through a hard time, and that's how we met. And
okay, why you think that? Beautiful yours. Why you suspect that? Yeah, tell us more. But I hear you. I wouldn't be surprised with that either.
Hard time. We're just like, you know, open up our hearts to each other. And then I told her about Brother Polight, and then I told him what I was going through. And the first thing she said, she's like, it sounds like he's breadcrumbing you. And I was like, what's breadcrumbing? And she was like, oh, it's like when ex-boyfriends like try to stay in touch with their ex-girlfriends.
Okay, now I get what them sisters were saying. Okay, it's the break. It's leading up to the abusive relationship thing. Yeah,
just check in, or just give enough to pull them in, to make sure that they're still around, that they're still there. And I'm like, fuck, like, because I tried to give up. I tried to disconnect myself with Polight after I wanted the hotel room where I felt like I wanted to die.
Okay, I hear you, sister.
And he kept getting angry at me, apologizing. It's all good, G. And while I was hanging out with him, he kept saying, I don't hang around with dudes. I don't hang around with dudes. I don't hang around with dudes. But I like hanging out with you, bro. Like, I like hanging out with you. Like, you're into different things I'm into that other people just aren't into. And he's just like telling me about the problems with his wives, and just like how, and then he told me about Victoria, and he was just like, she was giving me so much trouble. He was telling me about like, and I was just like, damn. He's like, I gotta I'm breaking up with, he's like, it's crazy because as I'm ready to break up with another woman, you come in. And I'm thinking, he's like, man, he's like, I'm not gonna fight it or what the universe, but there's a reason you came into my life.
To me, this sounds narcissistic, like a narcissistic play on love. Narcissistic play on, you know, love bombing and trying to use somebody's feelings against them. To I don't know if homeboy is queer, but to me it sounds like more of an abusive tool that he uses.
Life, you know, and I'm just sitting there just like humble,
allegedly,
like just or whatever, just appreciate it. And so he would constantly tell me like I don't hang around with dudes, and when he got angry at me and I would like try to speak up, he'd be like, bruh, that I ain't homosexual, you texting me too much. And he would bring, and then after I left to Mexico, he was just like, I want my money back, like, oh, you acting emotional, bro, you acting emotional. And I'm like, bro, I want my money, I'm confused.
But this does sound like some kind of projection suddenly. Like it's, I'm just telling you, I wouldn't put it past this guy. I wouldn't be surprised if there's more to this.
He's like, oh, and I'm like, how's being confused emotion? Oh, it's an emotion. So he kept saying I'm an emotional, bro. He's like, I did your native, like he did my astrology and shit, and he's just like, you're emotional, or he would call me acting homosexual by trying to confront him and trying to talk and trying to fight back. And I'm thinking it got so bad. I'm thinking in my head, like, why would you stay in touch with someone? Because he's still hitting me up. He still wants to do business. Like I haven't talked about the condo yet and how that shit went down. I haven't talked about the crypto course yet. You know what I'm saying? That's still a whole nother thing. So this is after I'm in Mexico. I'm trying to get my money back. I'm texting.
Okay, so this is his narcissistic play, the homosexuality. You too emotional. Why you acting sensitive? I'm not gay, man. I don't hang out with men. That's when you're trying to find out what's up with the money you loaned him. What's up with the money you gave him for this business? What's up with y'all business? That's when these things come out.
Like, and there's a difference. Like he could have just ignored my calls and just been, but he actually would call me and promise me money, check me in, and say, all right, you all right, G. And I'm just like, when I'm ready to give up, when I'm ready to die, he still gives me hope. Like I'm about to get my money back. Like, oh, it's all, I got another check on the way, and he'll present another opportunity. So we'll get into the crypto course later. So that got me so angry. He would hint that I'm being homosexual, trying to be homosexual to him, and I had to beat him every time. I had to beat him, like literally, no homo. Like I want my money back. I want to leave you alone. I don't want to talk with you. I just want to cut ties with you peacefully. I said I want to fight, bro. I don't want to fight. I just want to cut ties. I just want my bread back. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a great experience. This mentorship really was a very devastating experience. I didn't learn much. I have no proof of anything, and so I had to beat him to the punch so much that Polight was like, "Yo, I ain't on that kind of vibe with you no more, G." Because I kept saying no homo, and I paused after everything. And I haven't told you about the Texas trip. So I haven't told you about the condo experience, what that happened. I haven't told you about the crypto course and how that all went down, the real shit behind that. And I haven't told you about the Texas trip. But 3 different women asked me sincerely, do you think Polight is actually into you? And I got to a point where I'm like, even he may not know that. He may not even know that he's that, but he's actually telling me, calling me, checking in on me, trying to promise me to send me money, and you know what I'm saying, keep saying no homo. And at this point, I'm like, yo, if you got to play a bitch role, play a bitch role. And I got angry. I'm like, fuck Polight. I'll just submit. And he's like, submit. And I'm like, fuck, this dude is on a whole nother level. He's treating me like a female. He's treating me like one of his wives or something, but less than his wife because I'm a man. But still telling me about all the problems he's dealing with his wives, personally alone.
This shit is so convoluted. All of these things, yeah.
Sorry, man. I'm kind of off. I smoke a little bit.
It doesn't sound like a person you want to get involved with. That's for sure.
All right. So 1 second. This shit's deep, yo. So the condo thing. Now, like I said, I came out to LA because he said buy a condo. Fast forward through everything. Ra'et's bugging him about the condo because she's supposed to be my co-signer. And he's like, Ra'et, don't worry about it. Ra'et makes $10K a month. As long as they see that, you're good. I was like, I don't have work history, bro. Like, I don't have the bank statements to back that up. Like, and he's like, oh, Ra'et has that.
You know what's so crazy? This man, Polight, is about to go to court. He's about to be incarcerated, or he's about to make a plea. He's either going to go to trial for to fight off charges of sexually assaulting a minor, or he's going to take a plea. But people know who this man is. He's been accused of scamming. I mean, over social media, there's plenty of people who have said that they've been scammed. There's a lawyer who claims to have collected hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of emails of different people saying they were scammed by Polight. So people know who this guy is. But yet this video only got 10,000 views. You know, there's views about him selling his products is getting 100,000. There's views of Polight walking around doing nothing, just talking shit, and it's loads of views. And yet a person who's been abused by him has all the receipts. A person who's been scammed that has all the receipts, somehow it only got 10,000 views. That I will never understand why that is.
And come to find out, he's like, we're gonna lease an apartment. I had to go and find out that he's like, yo, see how much they cost for a lease. He mentioned nothing about a lease. I'm like, wow. Like, if I would have known, if he said, yo, would you
What's up, Killer B?
like to lease an apartment in LA? I probably would.
Yeah, hop on up if you want, bro.
Would have said, no, I'm good. I'd rather go to Asia or do my thing. But the fact that he said buy a condo, I'm thinking trust. Like, I actually own my first real estate property and like make money. You know what I'm saying? That's the motivation. But
in a second, I'm going to pause this because this brother has loads of stories. And as you've heard, he's been everywhere with Polight, documenting. He's the cameraman. He's the driver. So he's met everybody pretty much that Polight has met in that span of time. And so it's very curious who he met. That's what one of the things I would like to know. But anybody want to step up on the panel? Feel free.
now I come to find out, where I actually have to go and look at the condos by myself at first because he said he would come along with me. That we're leasing. He wants to lease, and then he's like, all right, figure out how much the lease.
Yeah, peace into the crisis.
Is. So at this point, I'm gonna lease the shit because it's like you can make bread. I've been leasing this and I've been leasing that nonstop. This is what I do. So come to find out that I'll be leasing the apartment. So we checked several different luxury condos out, and it shows me the apartment where he used to live to with him and his wives, back when Ashley was in the picture. And then Nina's checking out a spot. I'm thinking Nina's about to get a spot, and because she's checking out a room for her, I'm thinking like,
oh, thank you so much, sister. I appreciate that.
damn, he's about to have Nina and me live out in LA, and we're gonna do business and work, music, and do shit together. Now, he didn't know anything about crypto. He knew nothing. I mentioned nothing about cryptocurrency to this dude. He knew, and he even said the only reason I like having you around because you have no. I see that you have no ulterior motives. I can see that you actually are who you say you are. Everybody who wants to try to deal with me is always trying to promote something or wants me to like approve something. Or
all right, let's stop this because this brother, he has a lot of his page here is he has one playlist where he's only talking about how Polight scammed him. And as you can see, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, it looks like 10 testimonials to that. And each one is like a half an hour, roughly, maybe some 40 minutes, maybe some 20 minutes of time. So this is a lot of testimonial, a large testimonial this brother has given everyone. But what concerned me the most is, to me, when I look at this, I see like pure gaslighting, right? And that's what I wanted to talk about because it seems like a tactic that is popular in the conscious community, right? And we don't need to go that deep into it, but just to give you all an example, I don't know if you all can see this, see what's on the screen. They have some keywords. I mean, anyone could look up gaslighting. It's a popular term used, but you know, without going into the definition at first, I can cover that later. But I just wanted to ask you all to reflect on this and tell me if you recognize anything here. Let's see here. Okay. Now, when you confront Polight, when people confront Polight about the scamming, right? Do you hear this? Does this idea ring a bell? Everyone else is lying to you about me. Does that sound like that fits with Polight? when he hears all the stories about scamming, does that sound like something that he would put back out? Everyone else is lying about me. Or better yet, Sonetta. Everyone else is lying about me. Does that seem to be like a popular theme with these two? You know, nothing you heard me say is true. Nothing you heard anyone say is true. And even with Sonetta, nothing you heard me say is true because now I changed my mind. So you're wrong also. Everyone else is wrong. Everyone else is lying to you about me. Okay. You're crazy. I never said that. That's I never said that. That's Sanetta's main line. I never said that. You're chopping up the videos. Sanetta also, I never said exactly. I'm just saying. This is gaslighting. What? Okay, hold on. See, I told you, you're imagining it. Are you sure about that? You're so dumb. That's definitely top Sonetta. That's definitely polite. You're so dumb. I love you so much. I mean, Crypto Roots, he didn't say I love you to him, but it sounded like they had a love affair, like at some moments, like, sharing intimate personal secrets about life. And you came into my life right at the same time. I don't know what to say about that, but all of this. Okay. Yeah. Are you cheating on me? Okay. Well, that might be Sonetta. I don't know. Sonetta, boy. All right. Let's see here. Let me blow this part up real quick. Oh, 2 seconds. As a matter of fact, I can also do one better. Let me see here. Turn this up a little bit. All right. Let me see. Okay. Gaslighting is a form of manipulation that often occurs in abusive relationships. Let me make this larger. Can you all see this? There we go. In abusive relationships. It is a covert type of emotional abuse in which the bully or abuser misleads the target, creating a false narrative and making them question their judgments and reality. Ultimately, I heard that from Crypto Roots in the first video towards the end. To me, it seemed like he was questioning his reality, but the problem is that he didn't stop. He didn't acknowledge that he was experiencing that because he was being abused. So he went further into it, and it just became too deep after that for him to even recognize. Let me see here. And it got worse. Gaslighting is a form of manipulation that often occurs in abusive relationships, a covert type of emotional abuse in which the bully abuser misleads the target, creating a false narrative and making them question their judgments and reality. Ultimately, the victim of gaslighting starts to feel unsure about their perceptions of the world and even wonder if they are losing their sanity. Gaslighting is usually performed over an extended period of time. You see that? This situation with Polight, it was a period of time that actually it went on. So it's covert, so that the victim doesn't really recognize it or might have difficulty recognizing it because it doesn't start off so extreme. You see, it's performed over an extended period of time that causes the victim to question the validity of their own thoughts, perceptions, realities, or memories. This can lead to confusion, loss of confidence and self-esteem, and uncertainty of one's mental stability. A common result of this is a dependency on the perpetrator. Wow. Yes, and it seemed like Crypto Roots experienced that dependency on the perpetrator. Gaslighting primarily occurs in romantic relationships, but it's not uncommon in controlling friendships or among family members as well. People who gaslight others may have mental health disorders. Do you think it's possible Polight or even Sonetta might have some mental health disorders? And not just them, but and if you do you think it started off a long time ago? They use this type of emotional abuse to exert power over others, to manipulate friends, family members, or even coworkers. I mean, if you're a friend, family, or coworker of either one of these persons, just ask yourself these questions. Let me see here. See who's in the house here. Okay, yes. You all have slow gases in it. Yes, exactly. You did hear Napa scream on Sarnetta's last night about how abusive he is towards her. It was on Judah Nazareth's channel. No, I didn't see it, but I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised because it obviously seems like they're in an abusive friendship or an abusive relationship. I mean, they don't seem to have any problems showing it over the internet. I never watched Judah Nazareth's program. I don't watch them. The only time I watch them is if somebody tells me something in particular. Otherwise, what am I going to watch? Craziness on full-blown steroids? Both, first off, pedophilia is a mental disorder. Pedophilia, okay, is a mental disorder. Like they aren't wired right. You could be right, sister. Actually, I need to look into that once we finish here. Pedophilia. All right, now check this part out. How do you tell if someone is gaslighting you? People need to know this because apparently a lot of people haven't really maybe used the term, but don't really look into it in depth, because they could be experiencing it and not even recognize it. Gaslighting is a technique that undermines a person's perception of reality. When someone is gaslighting you, you may second guess yourself, your memories, recent events, perceptions. Did I read this? Wondering if someone says it. Okay. After communicating with the person gaslighting you, you may be left feeling dazed and wondering if there is something wrong with you. That was definitely crypto roots. You may be encouraged to think you are actually to blame for something or that you're just being too sensitive. Gaslighting can confuse you and cause you to question your judgment, memory, self-worth, and overall mental health. It may help to know more about the tactics a person who is gaslighting you might use. Lying to you. People who engage in gaslighting are often habitual and pathological liars and frequently exhibit narcissistic tendencies. Yes, it is typical for them to blatantly lie and never back down or change their stories, or even when you call them out or provide proof of their deception. They may say something like, "You're making things up, that never happened," or "You're crazy." Lying and distortion are the cornerstones of gaslighting behavior. Even when you know they are not telling the truth, they can be very convincing. In the end, you start to second guess yourself. Discrediting you. People who gaslight spread rumors and gossip about you to others. They may pretend to be worried about you, or while subtly telling others that you seem emotionally unstable or crazy. I mean, isn't that what Chief X tried to say about me? He's got mental disorders. He's not right. I mean, then all of a sudden you find a testimonial of him being on crack for 3 years, talking about he turned bread from his mama into crack. Unfortunately, this tactic can be extremely effective, and many people side with the abuser or bully without knowing the full story. That sounds like Sarnetta. A lot of people side with Sarnetta. That's for damn sure. Additionally, someone who engages in these gaslighting may lie to you and tell you that the other people also think this about you. These people may never said a bad thing about you, but the person who is gaslighting you will make every attempt to get you to believe they do. What do y'all think about that? Let me know what you think. 2 seconds. Alrighty, so let's see here. Distracting you. When you ask someone who gaslights a question or call them out for something they did or said, they may change the subject by asking a question instead of responding to the issue at hand. That sounds like a lot of people at HOK. I mean, the whole group of them use this tactic. They all use this tactic. Change the subject, distract, start, diverting. This not only throws off your train of thought, but causes you to question the need to press the matter when they don't feel the need to respond. Okay? Minimizing your thoughts and feelings. Trivializing your emotions allows the person who is gaslighting you to gain power over you. They might make statements like, calm down, you're overreacting, or why are you so sensitive? And oh my God, why are you so sensitive? I mean, we heard this. This is exactly what we've been hearing. You know, they throw this back out in people's faces that are talking about scammers. Stop acting sensitive. You know, that's what they say. You're acting like this. You're behaving. You're being too emotional. You know, isn't that what Crypto Roots just described? He just described it. I mean, it sounds like it's to me. All of these statements minimize how you're feeling or what you're thinking and communicate that you're wrong. When you deal with someone who never acknowledges your thoughts, feelings, or beliefs, you may begin to question them yourself. What's more, you may never feel validated or understood, which can be extremely isolating, shaming, and difficult to cope with. Now we get to the nitty gritty of it. It's all the nitty gritty, but have you heard this? Shifting blame. Blame shifting is another common gaslight tactic. Every discussion you have is somehow twisted to where you are to blame for something that occurred. Even when you try to discuss how the abuser behaves makes you feel, they're able to twist the conversation so that you end up questioning if you are the cause of the behavior, of the bad behavior. For example, they may claim that if you only behave differently, that they would not treat you the way that they do. Denying wrongdoing. People who engage in bullying and emotional abuse are notorious for denying that they did anything wrong. When was the last time you heard Polight admit to doing anything wrong? I mean, when was the last time you heard Sinetta really admit to doing something wrong? I mean, isn't there always an excuse that they bring up? A reason why they had to do it that way, or a reason? I mean, this denial can leave the victim of gaslighting feeling unseen, unheard, and as though the impact on them is of no importance. This tactic also makes it very hard for the victim to move on or to heal from the bullying or abusiveness. Using compassionate words as weapons. This is so manipulating. This so manipulative. This stuff. Sometimes when you like the word I love you, and then get up on somebody's panel and start cursing out people's mothers, kids, all of this stuff. Sometimes when called out or questioned, a person who gaslights will use kind and loving words to try to smooth over the situation. They may say something like, you know how much I love you? I would never hurt you. I would never hurt you on purpose. These words may be what you want to hear, but they are inauthentic, especially if the same behavior is repeated. That said, they must be just enough to convince you that let them off. That they may be just enough to the words may be just enough to convince you to let them off the hook. A person who gaslights tends to retell stories in ways that are in their favor. For instance, if your partner shoved you against the wall and you are discussing it later, they may twist the story and say you stumbled and they tried to steady you, which is what caused you to fall into the wall. You may begin to doubt your memory of what happened, encouraging confusion or second guessing on your part. Second guessing on your part is exactly the intention. Recap. Gaslighting can include a range of tactics, including lying, distracting, minimalizing, denying, and blaming. When you are dealing with someone who uses gaslighting as a manipulation tool, pay close attention to what they do, not the words they choose. Yeah, so having said that, let's see who's ready to get up on the panel and discuss this a little bit. I believe this is the main tool of the House of Consciousness. Um, that it's screaming, it comes out constantly. They use it as a tactic. If anyone notices some bad behavior, poor behavior, crime going on, there's no accountability. There's only victim blaming. That's exactly what was happening with No Light and crypto. Exactly, brother. Let me see here. Incognito. Sometimes I think it may be an act. Yes. Okay. Let's see here. Curse of Hammurabi on the degenerate savage. Let's see here. HOK panel is really no good because they never have honest discussions. Oh, absolutely. TTM Academy. What's up, Crunk? Make sure to get some Jesus coin, Vic. Okay. Yeah, okay. I hear you, brother. Let me see here. Yeah, for those that don't know, TTM Academy, transcribe, it's actually scratch transcribing. The brother wrote his own language for scratching, and it's trademarked and everything, and you can actually pick up some booklets on it, and they even have a transcribing tool that you can write the scratches to, I believe. Yeah, a brother named Crunk Tesla. Let's see here. Yo, we gotta have you up here, Ray, one day. Curse. Let's see here. Yes, the power of life and death is in the tongue. That's facts. Yes. God damn, my phone text all up on YouTube. What? What you talking about? God damn, my phone text. Yo, what you talking about, killer? My phone text. Oh, whose phone text? Yours or what? Yeah, man. Yeah, exactly, Crunk. Um, you know what? We're gonna continue to go down this crypto roots path because he's got a lot of details, and not only him, but I think the fact that the man lost his life, and it means people should review it, especially since we know Polight is about to go to trial, and especially since we know the HOK is under heat. I mean, this is one of the victims, and there's plenty of victims, I believe, that are like him. And I think when we speak their name, it does something. It provides some form of justice, instead of let them just go off into oblivion like they didn't matter at all. Let's see here. Polight tried to do a home invasion on my friend Uma York and her brother. Think Polight shot her brother. Oh, really? Oh, okay. What you know about that, bro? Well, let's talk about that offline, man. Matter of fact, I'm gonna hit you over Instagram, or Messenger. Let's wrap in a second if you got a minute. I'm about to shut down shop right now. Polight tried to take over Dr. York's Library 1 on Bushwick Avenue. Oh, really? Okay. You can tell this guy got some type of mental illness also. I believe so, brother. I believe you're right, killer. I mean, I do. I'm not saying that should detract from them facing justice or accountability. Yeah, but sure, plenty of people that commit crimes do find out they have some form of illness. Yeah, man. Okay, Kron, cool. I'm gonna hit you up in a couple minutes, bro. I want to thank everybody for just joining me for this episode. I hope you go back and take a look at Crypto Roots testimony and just think about some of these things, how gaslighting plays into his whole situation. Because to be honest with you, gaslighting is one of the worst. Mental abuse can be one of the worst forms of abuse a person ever endures, because physical abuse, you have to run or your bones break, but mental abuse can keep you in there for the long haul. Killer B downloaded Judith. What's up, Incognito? Killer B downloaded Judith's last video. All Nepal and Judah mental illness spilled all over that stream. They are the same person. All right. Well, I think I don't know, man. Shaka might be on tonight. I got to get ready to head out to work and get myself together. But I'm sure Shaka's watching. I think he's going to be up tonight. So let's try to catch it together. If not, we're going to get into it. If not, then I'm going to be right back. 2 a.m. circa 2 a.m. right. 2:30 2:30 a.m. That'll be East Coast U.S. time. 2:30. Yeah, 2:33 a.m. Yeah, I should be online again. I appreciate y'all. And as always, I'm gonna end out my man's music giant. Check him out if you're into some nice music.
Watching TV, the big screen show. A knock at the door, you're in the right place tonight. Sit back and relax. Are you ready for this night? Each day, there's a vision of life. Vision of life. Endless rainbows in each other's lives. Coast to coast, where our rivers flow. Yeah. In your eyes, it's the first episode. God created the heaven.
Oh yeah, I forgot to say. Fuck Sarnetta.
From the womb came a new childbirth. The blackest Caesar that you ever seen. A civilization, an